Greetings, video friends. This is Billy Cultist, back in No Man's Sky, as we continue our journey to construct this mining base of Molaria. We will be doing the glyph game in this video, and I have quite an awesome planet to show you at the end. And you can travel there if you will do yourself a favor and stick around throughout the entire video to collect the glyphs that will be appearing on screen, kind of like right now. This is the first one. They will be appearing throughout the video at random intervals. If you get them all, you go to an alien portal and you input those glyphs in the order in which they were received. You will get to travel to the planet that I will show you at the end of the video. And if you're wondering if it'll be worth your time, well, you can just go ahead and skip to the end of the video and look at the preview and decide for yourself. But anyway, we're going to continue working on this base that we've been working on for quite some time now. First thing I plan to do is to walk across these, hills to the power outpost, because I have determined that last time we worked on the power outpost, I neglected to connect the power to the top control room, so I plan to do that right now if I can get over this hideous mountain without breaking all of my bones. But once we get there, we will plug the power into the actual whatever station at the top. I am going to ascend on the old elevator and ladder, and we're going to plug that up. And I probably may do a little bit of decorating up there too, just to kind of finish out that. Because the last time we did just kind of leave this power station here as it was. It's quite well done, but you know, there's a little bit to be done elsewise, and I will work on it. That is a nice view of that lake off there in the distance. We have a few little comments, that is, messages from fans, and at points of tedium, I will try to answer these messages. There are some choice picks of messages, I must say. Anyway, though, yeah, here we are. I do believe it's not plugged in, so I will have to get a power cable and its electrical wiring and plug it in. It should be simple. Maybe it was plugged in. I don't recognize any change. So maybe I was mistaken. However, we can still proceed with the decorating plan. This place needs a little more stuff to make it, you know, reasonably believable as a station of high-intensity labor. Which it's not, actually. This would probably be an office job. I imagine everything in such a high-tech future is pretty close to an office job without a lot of hardcore manual labor, but you know, I don't know. I think I'll make this black. I feel like that will blend, but it will also differentiate it from some of the ones we already have on the wall, which are, as you can see, hopefully this will work out. I'll put green. I will have to rotate it, apparently. Rotating can be a tricky business in No Man's Sky. I don't know how many stations I will put. I will potentially put 2 stations. Yes. And a chair or 2 to carry the lard of the controller. We must determine what kind of chair would be best suited. Leave comments if you're so inclined, and even leave comments if you are not so inclined, because I hear we are coming into an era of YouTube in which YouTube will prioritize content with a lot of comments on it. So do me a favor and open your mouth up. Actually, you don't have to. You just type on your keyboard and say something. Preferably something funny, but what kind of armchair do we want for our undoubtedly lardy personnel who inhabit this? I think if I would want something with arms. So this is the only chair that has armrests, and so we will utilize it. I will give it this nice teal kind of color, and we will try to line them up too. There we go. That way there could be company, companionship for those who work here. A skeleton crew of only 2 people, but good enough, and they can have the interactions they need. We will put some more stuff on the wall in order to encourage a technological feeling. That will bang your head, though, if I put that there. Well, there has to be challenge in the workplace. So yeah, I don't... They will have to struggle, potentially. Just so it doesn't go through the glass. There's a little decor there. I might put also some remaining paraphernalia. Ah! These look like they might be something that would belong in a electrical tower. Just because of the light, I think. Let's see if we can go for that teal color again. I don't know, maybe a gray? No. Yeah, I'll go for the teal color. And I'll put one of those on either side. Oh! A ship came out of hyperspace and apparently right above the base and very close by. Sudden jolt. Very surprising. See, that looks a little bit nicer. Oh, but I do want to put a few more... Let's put a few more little... Actually, we will go with that one. I like that one. I'll color it teal too. Or, in this case, I'll color it gray. Shrink it down a little bit and put a few of these. It's anyone's guess as to what these represent. I would say they are cases full of spark plugs or some kind of maintenance equipment that could be used to keep the base below in working order if necessary. Replacement components, if you will. Could put one up here too, just to vary things quite a bit. And that's about it, I think, for that. Quite well done. I could put a light on the ceiling. I don't know, though. I think that will do it for the decorating of the power tower. As I was traversing this hillside, I think I noticed a cave, which I might turn to the side and look into, just briefly. I don't want to detract from the continued construction of the base too much. But yes, we will go inside the cave, possibly, and do a little bit of spelunking. A very marginal amount. Elevator, that is teleporter, working in perfect condition. And now I'm trying to find my way to that cave. There's the base computer. But the cave was over here somewhere. If I'm not mistaken. That may be it. That with that fat butt cow of a green coloration. Yep, here we go. And it's populated by a kind of... The lighting shift was quite sudden, but the lighting is very nice once you get inside this dark cavern populated by a golden-hued flora of a kind that seems common to this planet. Ah, you see this? I spoke once about having to find cobalt, and this is the most common source if you are not mining it from the surface of the planet to a mining node. If you have to go in and get cobalt in the wild, you can always find, usually in caves, these pencil-like rock formations, of which I am blasting away currently, and they will often give you plenty of cobalt for your trouble. And a geode or two, I suppose. But I think that does it for that. That's a little bit of educational tipster activity and a little bit of spelunking on the side. We will return now to the base, the mining tower proper. I have two necessary activities to apply myself to. The first one's very, very simple. It is, I'm going to harvest again some more paraffinium. Put it into storage, which of course will be very simple considering what we're about now. Especially since I have these teleporters installed. I must simply go up to the top level, this level, and go to my access area, which is here. And we can get our paraffinium out. But we have no inventory space. So I'm going to have to empty out... I don't know what these carbon nanotubules are for, but I'll have to just get rid of them. I think they're easily replaceable. The way of the rich is to throw things away with an excessive wastefulness not seen by most men. I will now be depositing our paraffinium. Surely there's more, though. Was it simply 99,999? No, we had 76,000. Well, but I did not have room for it. I will analyze this geode now, though. So, did it all go elsewhere? Or does it still exist? It does still exist. Alright, question answered. I need to get rid of more space here. I don't know what use these Gek relics are to me, so I'm going to dump them. I'm going to dump the meaty wings. I'm going to dump the creature pellets. Those are easily replaceable at any time. I don't know what half this stuff is. Damaged crank, salvage scrap. And I don't even remember where I picked it up. Construction research unit, I don't need that at all. I have several of those. I must apologize, video friends. I don't know how these things get in here. I believe it's on my travels. I construct them and I deposit them here, and then I forget about them. But now we have some space, so we'll attempt to put the remaining paraffinium into. Yes, that's all of it. And I'll attempt to transmit it now. If I've got the right storage container, which I do. This is a bit of a moment of tedium. So perhaps I will move over to a question that was asked by a fan of the EDC. I found it an interesting question. All of us found it an interesting question. And I have it here. Right before me, actually. It is, have you ever played Mickey Exscrubbed, the Disney game, where you play as Patton the Lucky Rabbit and help Mickey Mouse fight toothbrushes? Well, is that all the paraffinium? I think it is. And clean up the town. That's the question, friends. From a fan. Mickey Exscrubbed. If you know this game, I don't know a game called Mickey Exscrubbed. I don't know many Disney games well. I've never heard of Mickey Exscrubbed. And I know about a patent, not a patent, but I know on Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, I think in the Disney lore, but I'm not too well educated on the Disney lore. I've never played this Mickey Exscrubbed game. And it sounds interesting. It sounds very strange. If you fight toothbrushes to clean the town, or something like that, is what it said. I may be already failing to remember what the question said, I'm sorry. But, you can rewind and hear what they had to ask there. But, I have never played the game, so I don't know what to say. Other than it does sound interesting, and I may look it up later or attempt to learn more about it. Anyway, though, we have to continue on, and what I thought we would do next is to build out the inside of this wonderful administration residence and control room a little bit. That is, we need to add furnishings and kind of what we did to the electrical tower. So, first things first, we will need to add something. And that's not going to work. I like that much better. To serve as a... I believe, though, I'm going to take the same approach I did in the tower and use this because I like that quite a bit. It works well for the purpose. Yes. So, we will attempt to apply it. I think I will try to make it as large as possible because... And in this case... I will use the dark coloration again. See, that looks very nice. Now I will attempt to apply these. Although in this case, I think I will make them orange. And I may make them lower. And a little bit farther over here. Because I intend to possibly put chairs at the center of either of these. The control room awaits my decisions. Only I can give it the permission it needs to grow. That is, I even give it the creative power it requires to expand. Those don't float. Nice. Now, we need to put the chairs in. I will do the same as I did before, and I will grant them the chairs. You know, these chairs that allow someone to relax their arms. Although, what color? I do like that orange color. Although, I think I'll go with gray in this case. So, right about center there. This is the fun of ladders. Right about center. Not precisely, but whatever. There we go. We've got some control stuff. We will be putting in more control stuff. I do like this data cabinet. I think we could be well suited in using these to populate these opposing walls. And they might be quite nice if stacked upon each other in an ascending fashion. We will just simply line them up as best we can. What would be the best color? I am starting to think the gray would probably be best. You know, I don't know if there's any way to... Well, that seems to kind of do it. But I was going to say make them white. I think I will go with that. I do like that. It's not bad. You know, the music in the background at this moment is kind of reminding me of Metroid Echoes somehow. Now leave a comment if you understand what I'm talking about there. Do you know Metroid Prime 2 Echoes? Did you play it? Did you enjoy it? And do you think that music sounds similar to it? I do. Also, yes, for me, to both the first questions, I did play it, and I did enjoy it. It was a fun time. I hear they're making a new Metroid Prime. I have not seen a lot of it yet. I must say, what I have seen is not too interesting to me, but I suppose you never know until you get to the meat of the show. But yes, stacking those up like that, I think possibly on either side could serve well my purpose. But I may not stack them all. This is a good idea right here. We will just simply line that up. Yes. And I don't know about this wall. I don't know. There's another thing I might add. An element. The server. I kind of like to add these every once in a while. To a base. Although I might not make it quite that large. The ladder is a real friend to mankind. But anyway, that. I kind of like that. Now, there is a neat kind of table here, but I'm not sure it will fit well into our room. It might work. Let's see. It could work. I don't know, though. The way that looks is a little bit wonky. Still, though, you can change the color, too. That's nice. I don't know. I think I'll sleep on that. And I'll go back to putting in more of this stuff. Server blocks and what have you. We have servers, therefore server blocks. Okay, that's not going to fit well, but maybe it doesn't need to. But now we have populated our control room with a bit of technology that makes it look a little more useful as a control room. Although I still think it needs a little bit more in terms of furnishing. I may put a small version of this up here to serve that purpose. There we go. And we could put some more decorative containers around. These I like. Ah, lockers! Lockers are always something you might need. And actually, I forgot. I could have added these to the power tower too, and they would have made some good sense. You need lockers. We might also put some posters on the wall, you know, something like this. Make more money faster! Oh, it's not going in the wall very well. Well, we put it on the locker. Make more money faster. To the tune of an, you know, I don't know. A song? Your favorite? Personalize these lockers. You know, something in No Man's Sky that they really need to think about. If there's any way this can be done, it would be extremely nice, I think, to those who build bases and such. Such as myself. But to be able to somehow get some life into the base, populate it, even if it's only to the extent that it's visual, like we just have NPCs that just kind of walk around or something, just to be able to make it look like there's somebody inhabiting it and using it would be very neat. It's something that we just currently don't have. They kind of have it in terms of, well, there's like these little stations you could put. Basically, you could put these little stations and there'll be people manning them, like the science station, and I'll show you. The, I forget the names. here we go. The science terminal, the construction terminal. If you put this in, there will be a little guy manning it, and he'll like, always be standing by it at all times. But the sad part about that is he's just gonna always be standing by it, and it requires it. You know what I might do, though? I might actually put one over here. Because, yeah, it is the only means I have of creating population right now, so... I might actually just do that. You see, there you go. I showed you. There he is. There's the guy. So there's actually somebody in here now, which is nice. It's nice to have, like, a living character in here. But I wish we could have some way of having more guys like that. Just to wander, and maybe they would move around, and you could have them move around and use the facilities and stuff. I don't mean the restroom when I say facility, I mean the general facility. But, basically, yeah, that would be really nice. I think that would, even if they were just for show. Like, even if we didn't really have... You know, they didn't, you know, eat and all that stuff. They'd have a lot of depth to them, even if it was just a visual set dressing kind of thing. I think it'd be really nice. Okay, the ladder is magnetizing me again. Put another one of these over here. And I think one over there. And maybe put one kind of over here, the center-ish, to just kind of... Fill out this area and make it look a little more, you know, inhabited and used. Don't overdo it, but just kind of fix it up a bit. So I think, for now, I'm going to take a little break on decorating the administrator's quarters / the control room for the tower. And I'm going to go out here and kind of inspect this level because I felt like there could be a little bit done to it. And actually, one thing I noticed now that I look at it, this light is not fitting well here anymore because of this situation that I created. So I'm going to have to find another solution to that lighting situation. I could use this lighting array, as it is a smaller one. I'm going to have to get out here in this 3D view, because I'm not going to be able to see. Line that up and shrink it down considerably. And turn it to gray. I don't know if that's intersecting with the roof or not. Oh, just right. Perfect. Seems perfect to me. Okay, so that takes care of that issue. But, now we will move on to another possibility, which I have, taken into my brain. And that would be the possibility of adding a refinery facility, in which I would place probably no less than 3 large refiners. Now, I was thinking about this because refining is an important part of mining sometimes. And if you're pulling out these resources on a regular basis, like we are here, you might want to give yourself and maybe visitors to the base the option of refining some of those resources, which would need a refining facility that was somewhat robust, I suppose. Now, I think I would like to have it come off the tower at about there. Potentially. Actually, on second thought, maybe about there. So I think what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to fly up the building a little bit. You know what's funny? We still have this platform left over from the early days of constructing. The one that I'm actually going to use right now, but it's still up there. I didn't ever take it out. One of the things that can get out of hand when you're base building, you have to keep track of these things. Or else, there will be little things left over that you may have forgotten to remove. So right here, I'm thinking. And in order for this to work, we will delete the wall. Here. Okay, that's okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back inside. Because I just delete the wall so I can tell just where I want to go out. And we'll just use the elevator and get back up easily to the level that we were at. This level. And we'll proceed over there and we'll put out a walkway. Oh, by the way, that has to go too. Because well, actually, wait a minute. No, that was silly. That could stay. Because I'm going to put another one on the other side. Like so. This is now the plan. We'll take one of these. We already did this to create the connection to the, what did I call it? The admin's domicile / control room. But we will stick this in here with free placement. Because it's not going to snap placement. We can get it to look, it'll look fine. See? Looks okay there. Works nicely. And you want one of those because you can basically then be taking advantage of these corridors. Of which I can only build 12. So we may end up with the, let's see, pure ferrite. Just heading this off at the pass. I don't know why I was making chromatic metal, but we are going to fill up this thing and start it working right now to make a little more pure ferrite because I'm anticipating the situation in which I end up wanting more because I don't have enough corridors. But now, we can hook that corridor up nicely. I know we'll make it rusty. I do tend to prefer rusty a lot of times. As long as we don't have trouble with that. But we hook it up and have it coming out there. I don't know if those walls right there are going to clip through in an unsightly fashion, but I don't anticipate it. And what I will do with this is much in the same way we had the residents in control room on the other side. We will have... We're only got 4 left. I'll tell you what I will do. We will go out to the maximal limit, and that'll be the end of it. That'll be how far the passage will go, but we will terminate this in a refining facility of sorts, where we can house our refiners. Alright, so from the inside we're not getting any, well, we are getting a little bit, I suppose. I'm having trouble, though, with my mobility. Ah, that's unfortunate. But why? There is no ledge there. I don't understand. That must be nothing of a ledge. And yet... we are getting a little clip through here of those corners. However, I think that that could be... I'm not super bothered by it, but it could be fixed if it was a real problem. But this is a bigger problem. I don't know why. I may have to attempt this again and attempt to solve this issue. But for some reason, the lip of this door denies passage to anyone who would enter the hallway and proceed to the terminal facility at the other end. And that is a denial that we cannot accept at this facility because we need the hard-working people to make their way to their suffering, breadwinning job as fast as they possibly can. And if they're stuck on the lip of the door, How can productivity continue? I've got to... So, what I'm doing is I'm doing this from the outside in the hopes that we can lower the lip of the door, so it will no longer be a problem. And we will proceed to lay down the hallway just as it was previously. You know what? On second thought, maybe I won't go with rust. Yes. Okay, so now we'll lay this down as it was previously, except without the rusty bits. All the way to the end. 3, 2, 1, nothing. And I've decided to forego windows in this one, just because I think that, I don't know, it's an industrial kind of thing. You're not on your way singing a song, you know, to go to the refiner and looking out the windows with joy in your heart. Okay, we've solved the problem of the door. So that is something to be grateful for in life. Now, these things are poking through, but I'm not super bothered by that. I can book that. But we will have to hook this up to a power cable, of course. It's not going to accept the situation if... Alright, so we're not going to be able to hook it up to a power cable right now. Because I'll need to probably create a cuboid facility at the other end in order for things to be, things like that to be possible. And now I'm on the inside, and I have no way of getting out with the construction view except to build a temporary door at the other end, and I need pure ferrite. And just as I anticipated. Ha! Clever thinking, eh? Leave your thoughts in the comments on how smart I am. Wonderful thoughts. Praise me. Anyway, though, now we can do that. Cuboid room. Hopefully that will stick. Okay, it won't stick, but I'll just take this off. It will stick. I just wanted to be on the outside. So, this will be our refining facility. I will rust up the facility, if not the corridor. And all I need to be able to do is to fit 3 large refiners inside this thing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a primarily compact structure. And we will have these 3 jutting rooms, and those will house the refiners. Unless, of course, it will not. But we'll find out. They look quite large. I do think they should be able to house this. We're going to have to build 5 microprocessors for this. It will house it. And one of the awesome things about the cuboid room is it will snap. That's a wonder and a blessing as well. So, it's time to make microprocessors. But I better get an idea of how many it will take. It will take 5, which means I'm going to have about 15 of them. So let's see if we can do that. Missing components. Carbon nanotubules. We must have carbon nanotubules. But how many? 1. Okay. So we're going to need 15 carbon nanotubules. We have 5. I'm going to do this the slow way, just because. There we go. We should be able to, which I will do this the fast way, make these microprocessors now. Luckily, there's a lot of chromatic metal to go around. And I should now have all I need to put in these refiners. Make sure they're facing the right way. I do not believe you can change the color on the refiner. Why does it refuse to face me? Well, this is just gonna be more No Man's Sky nonsense. Where the snapping technology works like a dog. on a hot day. Okay. I'm just gonna line it up myself. I don't care. I will have these refiners facing inward for easy access, and I will not brook No Man's Sky's wacky ways when it comes to establishing these things. And now I'm out of chromatic metal and sodium nitrate. I did not anticipate the sodium nitrate problem. I thought we had plenty of chromatic metal. Okay, now sodium nitrate. I think it's gotta be refined. Everything has to be refined. These refiners will help in this manner also. Sodium nitrate. Well, judging by that, course correction of 80 degrees was necessary. Anyway, we gotta get this nitrate, but it's gonna take a while. I do need to find some way to busy myself while the nitrate's cooking. Oh, wait a minute! What a dunce! You can apply the dunce cap at any time. We've got these refiners, and they're functional. So what do we need again? We got the sodium nitrate cooking, we need the chromatic metal. Easier done than said with these. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Okay, whatever. Begin. We can cook on all cylinders. Cook two things at once. That's why the refining facility is so important. Another thing that's important is power. Okay, that did work. I'm gonna drag it all the way back to base and make sure we're hooked up. That will do. There we go. We lost the red light and we've got actual power in here. How's it doing? How much do I need? 200. But I have 133. Let's check on the nitrate situation. It's probably good. And I'll stop that because I do want to maintain my sodium. Okay, I think we're good on that too. But I'll let that continue to cook. Very well, excellent. Now, is it going to snap into place here, or no? Limited to 2 in the local area? What? What kind of a jackass thing is that? Only 2, okay? Apparently, you saw it here, video friends. We can only have 2 of these things in the local area. Does that mean... Look at this! It means... How far do you have to go? That far, basically. What is the point of that? I don't understand it. Somebody who knows a lot more about No Man's Sky than me, a big expert, could tell you. Get in the comments, expert, and tell us why this makes sense. I'm curious and interested and intrigued to hear about it. But anyway, as for that, well, I could solve that problem by building out some stupidly long corridors from this facility and putting the refiners, you know, farther apart, because apparently No Man's Sky wants them to be, like, at a certain distance from each other, because I don't know what purpose that serves. Or I could just be satisfied with 2 refiners. And I think that may be what I'm going to do. Because I don't know. In the heat of this moment, I feel like that's ridiculous. And I'm just going to let things slide as they are because there is no option. I don't understand that one bit. Why in the world? Is it to stop some kind of weird cheating or something? Not that it... I mean, that's silly as it is, because No Man's Sky, I don't even know what cheating is. This game doesn't really have a competition, so I don't get what cheating even is, but, if it is, can a few measly feet, you know, of walking distance really put that much effect on? I don't get it. I don't know what it's about. Anyway, though, that's it. I guess I'm only gonna put 2 refiners in here. I don't know what I'm gonna put over here. You know what I'll do? I'll make it a storage space. We'll put a thing like that. I'll make it gray just because. And we'll put like a bunch of boxes in there where the fruits of their labor can be stored. I may put one of those collecto things in there too. That could be fun. But that is a real what would be the best word for that? A buzzkill? I don't understand why that's a thing. Makes no sense to me. Put that over that. What is the point of that, Hello Games? What is the deal with the large refiners? What is the deal? Stack these real high, because they've been busy at work in here. And they've got you know, with just 2 refiners. Put quite a few here. Actually, wait though. I was thinking about putting in one of those things. These. The fabricator. That could be fun. I'll have to make some antimatter real quick. Not too difficult. These could be an interesting way to add something to the base for visitors to do. You put one of these in. I don't think you can change the color, but if you put one of these in... Basically, over time... Well, you need one of these, I guess, so only elite visitors will have any fun with it. But it is interactable. Interactable stuff is fun to put around the base. But basically, over time, this will build up, and there will be, you know, valuable stuff inside, like antimatter or something goofy. I don't remember all the things that come inside those things, but it can be useful. And like I said, it can give you something to put around the base for people to interact with who might come visit the base. Especially if you're one of those people that likes to invite people to the base and like run around and see the sights. It can be more engaging for visitors. Okay, so that's all well and good, I guess, for the interior of that. At least it may not be all well and good, but for the moment, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to now go to the exterior because we need to think about what this looks like on the outside. Because we can't just leave an ugly looking, you know me, I can't just leave that thing out there like that. We gotta put some kind of, a little extra to it. It's just, at the moment, it's just kind of hanging out in a boring way. I could make 39 of these, but I somehow don't think that's going to cut it. So what we need to do now is we need to stack these. Although, you know me, I hear a worm in the distance. But you know that I like to put these pipes through here, so I want to find out about that first. Worms are noisy. We'll make it black, much like the other one, and rusty. And I'll have to go inside and delete the other one because it's sticking up through the floor now, but not a major problem. Put that right down the center. Very small refining facility. Had I had more time to think about it, I might have made a more robust refining facility or something. Especially since I wasn't aware of the whole refiners have to be so far apart. It would actually, in that sense, make a lot of sense for you to try to build a larger, more spread out refining facility. But as it is, we're going to make it compact. But that does not preclude us from putting a lot of interesting detail on the outside, that's for sure. Could make it look very visually exciting from the outside, the exterior. And that we will try to do. One of the things I want to do, at least I think, but I'll have to find out how these usually do stick to the outside though, I believe. Yes, nice. Put that there. Try to line it up. It's going to be important to run it all the way. What I'm going to try to do is run that through. Oh, it's off center. Does it really matter though? That's the question. It does matter in this sense. I don't know if I could stand that. So somehow I did not quite line that up right. You gotta get the lines just right on that. You see that groove? You've gotta get that lined up through the center. To the other side. It looks lined up to me in this case. See if we can succeed now. I think we might have at least better on this occasion. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. That's what I wanted. I can now put back my cuboid room frame. Nice. Very good. Now that's not all there is to be done on that, but we have come to the part of the video at which it's time for me to show you the most fantastic planet that I discovered that will be your reward to go visit and even base on freely if you travel there with those glyphs that you have hopefully been collecting as you've been watching the tedium of what we had to deal with today. But yeah, it's your time. Your time has come. Alright, as I said, if you have been watching this video and you're No Man's Sky player and you collected those glyphs, you used them at a portal, this is where you will come out. And this video, friends, has got to be, without a doubt for me, the most excellent Earth-like planet I have ever seen in my personal journeys in No Man's Sky. This planet has everything. It has great trees, grass, everything, all the floor is green or of a color that seems to simulate Earth colors. The sky, although you can't quite tell it in the early morning hours like it is right now, but the sky is in fact blue. The space is blue relatively too, so the night sky is good at night. And the water is also blue, as I will demonstrate. Or at least a kind of a teal color. But again, Earth-like. Earth-like attributes all around. And as far as it being a true paradise, It says that this planet has mild rain, but in all the time I have spent on this planet, I have not encountered any storms at all. And to boot, the topology is wonderful, excellent topography. Gentle hills. Now you occasionally get these little pokey butte-like things sticking up, but really they're not that bad. And if you really don't like them, there are areas you can find where they're pretty scarce on this planet. But this is just an excellent planet, the most excellent Earth-like I have ever found. And if you're a No Man's Sky player, I really think this planet is worth your time to definitely go through the trouble of the glyph game and watch the whole video to get hold of this thing. But yeah, certainly this is an amazing planet, and if you went through the video and watched and got all the glyphs, I invite you to come explore this planet. Use those glyphs and come explore this planet, and come and build your own base here too if you like. Feel free. I am the owner of the planet, I am the discoverer, and I make it fully open for you to come here and build at your leisure a base here if you want to do that. No restriction, you don't have to feel bad or anything if you do feel bad about it. Don't worry. It's open for colonization. But yeah, just look at it. Excellent. It is supreme. Look at these jungle trees. Anyway, though, that is basically the end of today's session. I do hope you had fun, in spite of the tedium. Maybe if it was too tedious, at least this planet might make up for it. You could come here and make up for it. But we will continue building the base at Molaria and try to surmount our problems, and I hope you'll come back. I hope you might investigate the rest of the channel. We have other videos on other subjects besides No Man's Sky, which you might be interested to check out. Additionally, if you're not subscribed already to this channel and you're new, go ahead and subscribe to us. Go ahead and leave a comment in the comments, because apparently we're coming to an era when comments on YouTube will help to boost the reach a lot. So yes, comments are super appreciated, and I will do my very best to respond to them as well. Additionally, give a like to the video. A lot of likes would be helpful too. And if you're a person with deeper pockets and higher charitability than the average man, you can go and donate to us through the different pipelines we have for that, where there's links in the description. You can become a channel member. There's all kinds of things, but all that's, you can look over that in the description if you want to do that. But at the end of the day, I really hope that you did have a good time with this one, and you'll be back for more. Until the next time, here's wishing you have a really good day or night, whichever the case may be, wherever you are. This has been Billy Cultist. Bye-bye for now.